Hello class and welcome to MSE 608B. This is your week 1 video overview. What I want to do is every week provide you the opportunity to see what all the components are within the course module, explain them at a 10,000 foot level, kind of pull up a little details for you, give you a chance to really understand everything that you're responsible for this week. So let's go ahead and jump into what week 1 looks like. You're going to see images off to the side of me, below me, and we'll walk through those. So the first thing you're going to see off to the side of me is the week 1 lecture. Now that's our lecture that's already recorded and available for you to review. That's part of the lesson plan. I need you to go in and look at that, review it. There's a series of questions in the back that I'll need you to answer, and it's on leaderful leadership. The process of leaderful leadership, where we start blending leadership and management together and we start to understand what's required many times in high-tech or high technology firms. As we continue to move a little bit further over, you're going to see that on Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be running a Zoom live presentation, and that lecture is going to be on what is leadership. We're going to kind of pull at leadership. We're going to really explore it to understand the difference between leadership and management, what the different perspectives are, and how we blend a lot of those capabilities together. So those are the 2 lectures that you've got available for you this week. In addition to that, let's go into the assignments, because on a weekly basis you have not only team-based assignments, but you have individual assignments. So let's take a peek at what the first individual assignment looks like, and that's the image right below me. That's your week 1 LPI leadership survey. So you're going to be provided 2 different surveys. One is a self view and the other one is called an observer view. And the observer view you're going to hand off to someone that you know, and they're going to fill that information out for you, give it back to you. You're going to fill the information out on the self-survey, and then we're going to have you put that information into the course module. I will then come back and do a report for you associated with that. And we've got information on that assignment and what that looks like in the assignment tab. But in the assignment tab, you'll have full instructions on what to do to get this filled out. So make sure you review the assignment instructions, you understand what to do and where to load this information, how to fill these out. We want to give you a really good opportunity to get a baseline measurement of yourself in a, I'll call it in a leadership perspective. So this will give you the opportunity to get that information in there. I will create a PDF report for you. It'll be confidential, and I will send that to you. So you'll get that via either the course module or through email, but it'll be made available to you. It'll also be used for me to put together a group profile for you. You're all broken into groups and teams, and those teams are based on, say, 5 to 7 people, and that 5 to 7 team group is going to be moving through the entire course as a small, I'll call it team, that has been hired by a company called WES. WES is W-E-S, that's Wind Energy Systems. One of the things you're going to find is that I have assigned you all into a new company. So you've been hired by a company called WES, and this is the course project that you're going to work through. On a weekly basis, you will have course assignments that you'll be doing in your teams. You will assign a team leader each week. That team leader will be responsible for submitting the completed assignment or assignments, because some weeks there's a couple different variations of it, so there may be multiple things that are required. But one of the things you need to do is you need to go into the background information on the WES company. So let me pull that up for you so you get a chance to see that. And I know that we talked about this in another video, but Wind Energy Systems is a fictitious company that we've created for you, and you've got basically a rolling case study that's happening. It's almost like a real-time simulation where you're going to be creating information on a weekly basis, and then you're going to be creating assignments associated with that. We give you enough information to understand characteristics about this company, but each week you're going to have to explore more and more. You're going to pull at the onion skin and pull those layers back, and you're going to create different layers of understanding for us about the company. You can see that it has roughly 800 employees broken down into 5 different locations, and those 5 different locations are all over the country. It isn't just, it isn't just in the United States. It is an international company in an international environment. So you have offices in different places. You have a product called the Mega Driver. The Mega Driver is something, and I've got a picture of what a Mega Driver looks like for you here. You'll be able to pull this up and understand what the Mega Driver is. It is part of one of the, I'll call it the assembly components within the products that we make. So you're going to have the opportunity to work on this case study, and each week this simulation you're going to pull at it and you're going to add detail to it. So for week 1, now that you understand that you've been hired by a company and you as a team are going to work for that company, you have specific assignments. So for week 1, you've got 2 assignments. And the first one, let me pull it up for you, is going to be to put together a vision statement and then a purpose statement. So let's start with a vision statement. Let's make sure we understand what that is going to look like. So here's our purpose statement, and let's get our mission statement up. There's your team leadership report, and finally here's your vision statement. Okay, now that I've got these documents up, we'll have an opportunity to go through them. So the vision statement is something that your team must put together. So I've got additional information for you. You'll review this information and you're going to create a vision statement for the Wes company with the information that you know. Make sure you review this document, and then at the end of it you're going to actually fill in the new vision statement for Wes. So based upon the information you know, based upon how to create a vision statement, and we've got additional information, as I said, that'll walk you through how to do that. So that's assignment number 1 as your team. You're putting together the vision statement. The next piece of it is going to be the purpose statement. So let's go ahead and pull that up so you get a chance to see what the purpose statement looks like. The purpose statement is going to be based upon the core values developed through Wes. So you're going to have to basically go through the background information we've got and any additional information you can find, and you have to identify 3 core values that you think Wes emulates. What is Wes about? What are those core values? You will have to identify those on this template, and then you're going to create a series of purpose statements based upon 4 different areas. And we've got a description for you in a PowerPoint that you can go off and look at. Follow the instructions, go off and look at that, and you're going to create 4 additional, I'll call it purpose statements. One of them based on the discovery side of the house, the other one altruism, the next one based on excellence, and the 4th one on heroism. We've also given you the opportunity to go into some material by, I'll call it the Nikos here, who is probably one of the definers of a real, cognitive purpose statement. So make sure you go in and review this link. It'll give you information. Pull this PDF up. That gives you everything that you really need to understand about doing the first 2 assignments. Now, once those are submitted by the team leader each week is responsible for filling out a team leadership report. So let's take a peek at that. So you as the team leader, whichever one of the members of your team takes on that role, and remember, each week you're going to rotate that role. You will be responsible for filling this out and submitting this to me also. It's going to walk you through basic information. What is the team name? So come up with a name for your team. It can be any name your team feels is appropriate, and then I need to know the members, the date that this report was submitted, and the week's objectives. So for week 1, the objectives are the purpose statement and the vision statement. That's what was required. You will then also document all of this information, and then you'll type your name in at the bottom. And what I'm looking for is a clear understanding of how your team performed. And you're going to be doing this from a leadership and a management perspective because you're the one running the team for the week. Okay? Now, my recommendation would be in your teams, always strive to work in a collaborative environment and try as hard as you can to drive to consensus on any decisions that need to be made. I know that's very hard sometimes, especially with, I'll call it engineering scientists, STEM related people that work in high technology firms. The dynamics that you run into in your team environment are going to be identical to the environment that you will run into in a high-tech firm. So we're emulating and creating that same environment for you. You're going to run a simulation for 8 weeks where you will be providing us different assignments all the way down into week 8, where you will fill out a presentation. Everybody on the team will present information that they have accumulated, along with putting together an APA report. You'll have a project report that's due at the end of week 8. Now that we're done with the assignments, let's go take a look at the discussion forums. We've got 2 discussion forums for you each week, with the exception of one of the weeks where we're going to move things around a little, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But for right now, okay, week 1, you've got 2 different discussion threads. Those discussion forums are each graded. You must provide 3 responses to the questions in here. You must communicate in a positive way. You must contribute to the substance of the discussion and carry it forward in a positive direction. 3 times, okay, for each graded discussion on 3 separate days. You can't do them all on one day. They've got to all be on different days. Now you can do discussion 1 and discussion 2 on the same day, but you ultimately will need 6 discussion threads, the discussion forums, completed by the end of the week, okay? And to do that, you get full credit as long as you're moving the conversation forward in a positive direction. You can't just come in and say, I agree with Bob. Sandy makes sense. Those are not ways to carry the conversation forward. You have to have insightful information that you provide, and more information than little information is always better. So make sure you take a look at that. The 2 threads that are going to be pulled at this week are going to be leadership versus management. We'll have that discussion in this environment, and then leadership theories. We're going to pull at leadership theories, the different ones that you have access to, the ones you've heard, and the ones we're going to create for you. Finally, the last thing that we're going to talk about is the textbook readings. You've got the opportunity to have 2 really, really awesome textbooks. I highly recommend that you not only keep these, but if you can get a copy of the Leadership Challenge, which is this one, and it's not a digital version, you're going to notice something unusual about it when you hold it, and that is that it weighs about twice as much as any other textbook I've had. They've used a special paper in here. There's special graphics that they've included, and for the Leadership Challenge, week 1, you're going to be reading pages 1 through 44. So in this book, the Leadership Challenge, pages 1 through 44, it's going to expose you to a model on leaderful leadership and the 5 principles of what we call exemplary leadership. So you're going to get introduced to a model that you'll get to see that shows those 5 areas, and then there's 10 principles associated with it. Each week we're going to reach in and pull at that. You're going to learn this model inside and out. The next book that we've got for you is written by Bob Chapman. Bob put this book together. It's called Everybody Matters. Bob is a very successful, I'll call it, survivor of a company that almost did a complete nosedive. So this is an opportunity to read about how to take a company that he had out of being very successful, and the market kind of slipped on him in the 70s and 80s, and how they had to redesign themselves, how they had to reevaluate a lot of things, and how he's looking at things from a people-centric leadership perspective. He created a style of leadership called people-centric leadership. You're going to be reading pages 1 through 50. There may be an opportunity for us in one of the live lectures where I can get a representative from Bob's organization to chime in. So when we get into one of the lectures associated with his material, we're going to try to get a guest lecturer in for you. Now, that's what's included in week 1 for you. Remember that as you move through each week builds upon each other. So make sure you look at the videos each week. They give you an opportunity to understand from a, I'll call it from a 10,000 foot level view, what all the moving pieces are, what the components are that are required for you. Don't forget that you've got to go over to the people area, click on that in your Canvas module. That'll open up the area for your teams. You'll see that everyone is assigned to a team. There will be discussions and communication that you will have over there also. So you're going to have dialogue in a variety of places. I'm always available for you to contact me. So feel free to reach out to my Cal State Northridge email address. You can text me, you can email me, you can call me on the phone if necessary. I've got course office hours that you can reach in anytime you want during that live lecture. And what we'll do at the end of it is we'll open the forum up for us to ask any questions that anyone might have. So that's a glimpse of week 1. Congratulations. We are moving towards week 8, and let's get started. Have a great session. Goodbye.